Get a good offer.
Yeah, you need more cars too, right?
I
Yeah,
know,
that's what you
I
need.
can see I got another one out here now, I'm like,
I'd like to call the Monday, August 26th board meeting to order. Roll call.
Mrs. Nazario.
Here.
Mr. Ferguson.
Here.
Dr. Ballard.
here.
Mrs. Washington. Mr. Sturgill.
Here.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recognition of visitors. Seeing none. First hearing of the public. None. Can we approve the minutes from the August 12th meeting, and the board waives the right to read the minutes from that regular meeting?
So moved. Support.
A roll call?
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Dr. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Any old business? Reports and recommendation of the treasurer.
I have items 8.01 through 8.03 for approval.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Dr. Ballard.
Yes.
Reports and recommendation of the superintendent.
I'd like to give some updates first. I'd like to invite our Director of Communications and Community Engagement to do it, because I forgot my glasses.
Is this thing on?
Yes.
Hello, I'm Krista Lockich, Lorain City Schools, Director of Communications and Community Relations. Couple updates. The Back to School Bash has been rescheduled for October 3rd. It's going to kick off homecoming weekend. It'll be here at the high school, indoors and outdoors if the weather permits. After school, much like the spring and winter fests have been in the past. More information to come on that. And I think there was one more thing. Soon, very soon, Dr. Graham is going to launch a vodcast. It'll be a video podcast that'll air bi-weekly in conjunction with the newsletter. You probably all got the newsletter today. So there'll be a newsletter weekly and then a video podcast bi-weekly.
Hey, can you speak to that a little bit more? I know this is a creation of you and Michael Picciatti, who's behind the camera, but if you can give an update on what that's going to look like, because I just thought it was an amazing idea.
Yeah, so it's actually Lisa Roberson, Michael Pisciotti, and I are spearheading it, and Lisa and I will be the co-hosts. It's Dr. Graham's show. We will cover all relevant topics. We will speak to anyone and everyone who has something engaging or relevant going on, students, staff, principals, building leaders. And it'll be somewhat scripted and edited. It'll be very professional in format. Other districts are doing similar things. We're really excited about it.
And looking to grow it to actually include students to be a part of that as well. So they'll
Yeah.
be doing the interviewing and the engaging and asking the questions that they want answers to make sure that we're connected with all the right people.
Absolutely, like scaffolding. So it'll be adult heavy, I surmise, at the beginning, and then hopefully it'll be more and more student led as it takes off.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
In a couple of seconds, too, I'm going to ask the board to, I'm recommending a policy change, which is to eliminate our religious teacher, release time for religious instruction. I apologize. And again, I just want to remind the community and then the folks at the table our process for approving and removing policies. It's a two-part reading. So right now, my recommendation is to eliminate the policy on release time for religious instruction, but that's only so we can get more information. So this is not necessarily a final piece, but where my recommendation is coming from is I've talked to a lot of people who have concerns about certain aspects of how certain groups handle it. And for me, when you look at the concerns that they have and you align it to our policy, their practices and our policies don't align. So there are gaps. And the gaps, in my mind, are for safety and disruption of schools. So either we need to eliminate it to keep our children safe, or we need to improve it to make sure that we align with all the potential practices that are out there. Now, to be clear, I've not spoken with anybody from any of these religious groups who are requesting release time for religious instruction, but the concerns I'm getting from community members and from families make it clear to me that our policies don't align to those practices, should they be their practices. And even if they're not, our policies need to be very, very clear on how we're going to keep our children safe. So again, if you have concerns, this is to the community, to our staff, to everybody, please reach out to me, please reach out to the board, provide your input, and we have to wait at least 2 more weeks for our next board meeting to approve. But if the information requires us to take longer, I think we've demonstrated that we will always listen and engage and make sure that we're doing the things, again, that are appropriate and respectful to our families, but with an emphasis on safety and obviously making sure that we're taking care of the important stuff in school.
Just to be clear, we're eliminating a policy to strengthen it.
That's correct. Either we eliminate it or we need to strengthen it, but right now our policy
Right.
does not align to the practice of groups who are looking for release time for our children. So one way or another, we have to make it better.
Yep.
So I'd like the board to consider for approval items 9.01 to 9.12, personnel matters.
Real quick, I want to make sure I'm not seeing something wrong.
I think you got to you, right?
I'm sorry.
That was my turn, right?
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on, what do you got?
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah.
These dates don't really line up here, and I don't know if we can approve some of those with those dates being wrong. I don't know if that should be 25.
The leaves of absence.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
these
know
are.
if those are just typos, or can we
Can you
correct that
take a
on the
look at that,
fly?
Jim? It's, I think our contracts for people. I apologize for not having my glasses.
You can borrow mine.
I'll look good. It's supposed to be 24, 25.
Can we make, okay.
I'm here on behalf of Lorain, because she can put those in
Okay.
the edit that way.
Talking about the leaves
Okay,
of
so
absence.
with the, I'd like to recommend for approval, items 9.01 and 9.12. I think we're in the discussion phase. And I would like to amend the dates to make sure that they are
Concurrent.
Through 25.
through 25 as opposed to through 24.
Yeah.
So this is for a school year.
Got it.
7/1 of 24 to, the-
6:30.
Yes.
24.
for Marie Deschek and for Angela Washington.
And I didn't
Hold on
check
one
them all,
second.
so those are just the two that got my
Yeah,
Okay.
those are.
But
'Cause those might
if we approve them, we can correct them
They were-
next time.
attention.
But
Thank you.
This is still allowed to pay them.
Are
What's
those
that?
actually 2-year contracts?
No, they weren't contracts, they were leave it
Oh, leave it there. Oh, okay. All right.
Good catch.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Support.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Ferguson,
Yes.
Dr. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazaria,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
And I'd like the board to consider for approval items 10.01 to 10.13, operations matters.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Sturgill,
Yes.
Dr. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Nazaria,
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
That's it? Right.
So I have, yep.
Do we have any new business to share? Any committee reports? Second hearing of the public? Our next board meeting will be September 9th here in the board meeting room at 5 o'clock. And I need a motion to go into executive session for A2 employment.
So move.
Support.
And we will not be taking any
Nope. There'll be no
coming out,
recommendation
no
for it.
recommendation coming out. Roll call?
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Dr. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazaria,
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
The public is running.
Did you want to talk real quick?